What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Next Level Screen Innovations webinar. I'm your MC today, Mark Garajanian, Director of Marketing for Next Level, and we are thrilled to have you here with us for the next 45 minutes or so to review the complete SI offering, as well as give you all an in-depth tour of the Screen Builder portal, which in my opinion is probably one of the most user-friendly CI tools out there. And I believe that after, going through this webinar, you will see exactly why. Also, for you that are live on this call right now, and I say live because these webinars that we're hosting are also being recorded. So anybody watching this after the fact on our website or on social media, unfortunately, won't qualify. But if you are watching this live, you will be eligible for $50 off your next Screen Innovations order placed this month, in the month of July. All you have to do is get with your sales rep and he will help process that for you. So without further ado, I'm thrilled to have Lisa Kirtley, who is the National Sales Manager of Screen Innovations. Been working with her for a while. Absolutely phenomenal. We also have, I guess in the background on the bench, ready to come in, is Joel Speranza, who is a customer experience representative for SI. So if you guys have any questions, please ask away. We will get those answered either during the webinar or right after. So without further ado, like I said, Lisa, thank you so much for joining us and going over the full lineup from Screen Innovations.
Thanks for having us. Good morning, everyone. I have to say, I loved the pre-training entertainment. Well done, Mark and team. Well done.
Thank you.
Joel, welcome as well. We're going to get started. As you said, the goal today is just to kind of hit the highlights and review all the different materials, the full line of products, and go over some of the great tools that Mark mentioned as well. So Mark, whenever you want me to share my screen, you just let me know.
Go ahead and share. Ready to go.
All right. Can everyone see my screen?
Yes, looks good.
Great. Well, as we said, you have myself and Joel. Anytime you guys need anything, of course, you have the Next Level team to reach out to. But if you want to take a screenshot or jot down any of this info, Joel and I are we have a full team here, but Joel and I are really the ones that are mostly focused on distribution, as well as Britton Busby, who is on the outside sales with me as well. So for those who don't know Screen Innovations, we are a projector screen manufacturer. We started life in 2003, so this is our 20-year anniversary. You'll see today we have a ton of stuff to go over. We are known for our ambient light rejecting material. If there's any downside to that is, don't forget us for your standard white and gray items as well. So we'll really just zip through, take a closer look at our motorized line and our fixed lineup. We really want you guys to have the confidence in choosing the right materials. So as Mark said, we have some great tools to help with that. Then just kind of get a better understanding of some of the different form factors, whether it's fixed or motorized, and then we'll pop on the website and show you some of those tools and how easy it is to specify. We do have 3 different ambient light rejecting materials, or as we like to call ALR. So we'll zip through all of those. Of course, as I said, we have beautiful standard white and gray screens as well. Unity is our true neutral material. If you're spending the money and you've got a projector that does true color matching, and that's super important to your customer, Unity is a true neutral material. And then we won't spend a ton of time on rear projection, but we do have some really great rear projection materials. FlexGlass is a rigid sort of glass material, but what's nice about it is it's flexible, it ships on a roll. So if you have a customer that is looking at maybe an LED solution or some really big wall solution, if they can do rear projection, this does full edge blending and allows for ultra short throw. So you don't have to have all that real estate behind the screen that some people don't like about rear projection. It also, again, because it ships on a roll, is much easier to install, get through a doorway, up a staircase, whatever it might be. Black Diamond film is a rear projected film that is meant to go on a smooth surface like glass or acrylic. So for those customers who have big glass walls or, a place where they just don't think they can put a screen, it's a really great option for them as well. It goes on like window tinting film, but it's a really, really cool option. So reach out to your Next Level guys. They can get you more info as well. And then we have 360, which is a PVC style front or rear projection material. What I love about 360 is you can see the image clearly from both sides. So maybe if you have an outdoor patio where you want to be able to see, the image because you're sitting at a table for a barbecue, but you got kids in the pool, you can see images from both sides. And it's the only rear projection that's motorized. So again, full lineup. We'll zip through a few of these. The big thing to know about our kind of standard white and gray materials is that they are 9 times finer and smoother than anything else out there. So as you know, when you're shooting onto something, you can shoot on a brick wall, but the smoother and more beautiful that surface is, the better your image and your contrast is going to be. It is a proprietary texture for us, so great for off-axis viewing, nice wide viewing cone, and we'll shoot whatever resolution up to 8K that you shoot at it. So a really great option for even just a standard white or gray screen. I know it's a little hard to see on a Zoom or Teams call, but this does give you an idea of what that pure smooth material looks like compared to some of the other guys that might have a little texture or nap to it. Why ALR? So if you're not familiar with ambient light rejecting, we all know that, sometimes you want to leave the lights on, right? You don't want to have to sit in that dark dedicated room. So this is one of our white screens going up in front of one of our black diamond screens. And then this gentleman's holding up a piece of black diamond. So it's just a great way for you guys to see in the, with the exact same projector that you might have in a scenario where you have to turn the lights out. With them on, you can really, really enhance your contrast by 3, 4, 5, 8 times, depending on the material. So just good for you guys to know. If you are familiar with ALR materials, it's really important for us to note that while everybody rejects light from the top and bottom, Screen Innovations is the only company that also rejects it from the sides. So again, in a scenario where you want to watch a football game or you want to have a movie night, but you don't want to sit in a dark dedicated room, our ALR materials can be a really, really great option for that.
Hey Lisa, quick
Sure.
question here we got in. Is there a projector that is normally recommended or a certain lumens rated projector for an ALR screen? Or is it, can you pretty much just use any? I know it's really depending on the light that's coming in the room, but I'm just curious if there's any projector that you guys recommend.
So we're really
Black Diamond.
agnostic as
Okay.
a screen. That's a great question. Thank you, Mark. As a screen company, we work with lots and lots of different projector companies. When we get to the end and show you one of our tools called the Screen Material Wizard, it's really great because it allows you, as Mark said, to put in that ambient light measurement, but also put in your lumens. And then it'll tell you based on the size of your screen, how bright your room is, how many lumens you're kind of looking at. Through all the different materials, it will tell you what your brightness is, what your contrast ratio is, all those things. So we'll go a little deeper in that when we get to that tool. But in general, ambient light rejecting screens do the heavy lifting for you. So in most instances, you don't need as many lumens as you would need for a white or gray screen. So we'll get a little
Very
deeper
good.
on that, but hopefully that helped a little.
Yes.
We do have 3 different ambient light rejecting materials. We have slate, which is our surface material. We have our ultra short throw, which is a true lenticular material. And then we have black diamond, which is our true optical material. So we're going to shoot through these real quick and just talk a little bit about those. So black diamond was our flagship ALR product. I like to say it's the bee's knees of the ALR options that we have out there. It is a semi-rigid material, so it ships on a roll, but it is an optical material. So it has several layers of optics that are hitting a highly reflective aluminum surface. So while it does ship on a roll, it is not meant to be rolled and unrolled multiple times because you can damage the optics. So it is available only in a fixed frame screen. It's amazing. It has up to 90% ambient light rejecting properties. There's a couple different gain options here. Max size in this is 150 inches in the diagonal. So it's sold by the inch, I think from 80 inches up to 150. So totally customizable. And this beautiful small frame option. So love, love, love black diamond. Of course, we know people need to go bigger than 150 inches. We know they need to do motorized. So we came out with Slate, which is our surface material. So it doesn't have all the optics, but it does have optics that are embedded in that layer. So about 70% light rejecting, still really beautiful, but you can go up to 220 inches in the diagonal with this in a fixed frame screen, and you can go up to 200 inches in diagonal in a motorized screen. We always kind of bump our head on the height. So if you needed a really wide screen, but you just didn't need to go more than about 8.5, 9 feet tall, we can do custom aspect ratios as well. So if you've got customers who have a training style facility where they need a larger screen, but they don't need it quite as tall, we can do custom sizes. So love, love, love Slate. And then last up is the ultra short throw. I love this option. It is meant to be a bottom up shooting material. And that is because the way the actual lenticular little louvers are is we black out everything. It's going to reject every bit of light except for what's coming right up from the bottom. This is a great option and the only ultra short throw ALR material that I'm aware of that you can get not only in a fixed frame screen, but in motorized. So it is a really, really great option, especially if you have a room where you have people who are really going to be sitting far to the right or to the left and you need that little bit wider viewing cone. It can be a great, great option. So max size 120 inches in a fixed frame screen and 100 inches in a motorized screen. So that's your 3 ALR materials, your black diamond, your slate, and your ultra short throw. We touched a little bit about the 360 material as well. I love, love, love this option because again, it is a rear projected or front projected solution, but you can see the image clearly from both sides. So I love this picture here of the pool, kind of alluded to that earlier. You can see the image just as clearly from the back side as you can the front side. Now it doesn't have any ALR properties to it, but it is our only motorized rear projection solution. You can get it in a fixed frame as well as motorized, and again, up to 200 inches in diagonal. So the actual line itself, we'll touch first on our motorized screens. For those of you who are familiar with SI, we definitely had a lot more models. In October last year, we launched Solo 3. It replaced the old 3 series and 5 series and the old Solo 2 model and just gave you one easier to quote to spec motorized option. We also have 0G, which is our cable crawling solution. So we'll jump into those real quick. Solo 3 is amazing. It's slim, it's beautiful. You have lots of different material choices. There's a beautiful fly kit for these up to a certain size. So if you have a room where you need a little bit more headroom and you don't want to see all that black drop, these beautiful cable fly kits can be a great option for you as well. But you can see just really small, slim cases. Of course, there is a flush mount option. One of the best things about Solo 3 is that you have multiple motor choices for this screen. So the lithium rechargeable battery version is available up to 110 inches in diagonal. It's going to come from the factory fully charged. You're going to get up to 500 up or down deployments on a single charge. But when it comes time to charge it back up, you don't pull it down. You don't have to take out batteries. It is a rechargeable battery. So just like with your iPad, there's a little magnetic charging port here. You just get the magnetic charger close, it snaps in. If it's up tall for whatever reason, it actually comes with a little tool that you can clip the charger into and use a painter's tool to get it up there. And again, as soon as you get within, a couple centimeters, it just pops right in. So a really, really great option when you cannot, just can't run wires for whatever reason. On the wired side, we have 2 options. Of course, the standard line voltage, 110 volt motor with low voltage control. That's kind of standard with Pigtail. But we are the only company that I'm aware of that also has a low voltage motor option. So up to 160 inches in diagonal, you can also get this screen in a 24 volt motor. We're going to send you a little power supply for that. But it's just a great option to know that you have lots of solutions when it comes to how you want to power your screen. The Solo kind of does it all. White and black are your standard colors. We do custom powder coating in-house here in Austin, Texas. Everything is built here, shipped and supported from here. So if you needed a custom color, ring up your Next Level guys or ring up Screen Innovations and we can get you a quote for a custom color. But again, black and white is going to be your standard. Flush or external options, of course. But again, what I love about this, if you have to see the screen, I think so many people recess their screens because they just don't want to see that big domed front kind of ugly case from days gone by. Ours are beautiful slim cases. The case size will be determined based on the size of the screen. So up to 110 inches, it's a 3.75 inch case, which means it's just under 4 inches squared. From 110 to 160, it's a 5.75 inch case, so just under 6 inches. And from 160 to 200, it's just under 7 inches. So even the biggest screen we make is a really small, slim case. If you're getting that smaller external screen, it's going to be this nice little L bracket where you can mount it from the ceiling or you can mount it from the wall. There's a little channel in the back of those cases, and I know it's kind of hard to see. It hooks right on these little hooks, and then you just snap it down. So really easy install. For anything over 110 inch, we have either a wall mount or a ceiling mount. These are spring loaded, so there's a little channel in the top of the case. It pops in and snaps, so you know it's held, and then you can adjust it left to right, get it where you want to, and lock those thumb screws down. So if it is a big, 200 inch screen, for example, you're not trying to hold it up and get those, get it screwed in. It's a way to just pop it in, do your adjusting, and lock it down. So when we created Solo 3, we really wanted to give you guys some new, easier mounting solutions. If you're doing a flush mount ceiling, we have a drop mount ceiling as well that will mount up to your grid here. And then again, same spring loaded option, pop it in, set it where you want. If you are doing suspended ceiling mounts, I love this new zip nut option. So our zip nuts are going to push right up on that all thread, click, 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 get to where you want and lock. And then you can adjust that as well. So again, not trying to hold the screen up and screw your screws in. So we've really thought about the actual installers when we redesigned this particular screen and came up with mounting options. So lots of options for you. All of the screens are going to come standard with the roll where it's going to come off the back of the wall closest to, or back of the case closest to the wall. If you do need clearance for some reason, a television, a light switch, door handle, whatever it might be, you can get any of these screens in the reverse roll option as well, which will give you a few more inches of clearance. So just know that is an option. One thing I just want to spend a few seconds to talk about, because I think this is, while maybe not the most beautiful slide we'll talk about today, these are the bigger differentiators between us and some of the competitors out there when it comes to a motorized screen. Not only do we have beautiful material and beautiful cases, but we really put a lot of thought into longevity for you guys to have value add out there when you're talking to your customers. Why is my screen better? Well, number one on the motorized screens is because we use that thin proprietary micro texture material, we have to have tab tension screens. But not everybody loves what a tab tension screen looks like. They can be big, they can be obtrusive, the tabs can fall off. So we have a patented laser cut tab system. That means that this is one seamless piece of material and the tab is just going to be cut right out of that edge. So there is no tab to fall off, get jammed up in the case, any of that. The black border that's on here, as well as the black drop, is also printed on. We do not spray or tape or paint that on. So gone are the days where you have a sticky, cracking, smearing black drop over time. We've all been in the room where you hear the screen coming down before you see it. That's usually because the black drop has degraded and it's gotten sticky. The drop, because of the way we do the tab tensioning, is also field adjustable. As long as you drop that screen 2 inches, you can set it anywhere from 2 inches to whatever the maximum drop is right there on site. So most all other companies that do tab tension screens, if you buy it with 24 inches of drop, you guys get in there to install it and realize, uh-oh, I only need 12 inches or 18 inches. Over time, that'll give you trouble with your tab tensioning, but not at Screen Innovations. As long as you drop it 2 inches, You can set it for whatever you need on site and not worry about the negative effect for your tab tensioning. So again, just some differentiators that speaks on longevity. Another thing to mention about the tabs, if you have exterior tabs like everyone else does, when you roll that screen up, instead of sitting perfectly uniform on the tube, you're going to get that bulk, right? That tab gives you bulk at the end. So it kind of sits hourglass shaped, which over time means it's going to sit there and stretch, and you're going to get those screens that have that big hourglass shape. It's going to get out of aspect. Your customers are going to call and have you come on site. So with our screens, not only will the tabs never fall off, but when it's rolled up perfectly uniform, it's going to look as beautiful the day you put it in till the day you take it out. So just some ammo for you guys when you're out there maybe looking at other screens. Again, Solo 3 max size, 200 inches in the diagonal, lots of different options. I didn't go over it, but our slate and our white also do have a micro perf. So if you need that acoustic transparency, we do have a beautiful micro perf option for the ALR as well as the white. So lots of options here, 36 inches of drop depending on the size that you need, and then our 3 different power options as well. All of our boards have a new control board. We used to ask you, how do you want to power it? How do you want to control it, right? Moab is the mother of all boards, and it is going to give you the ability to do everything that you want. Now, this is a wired solution, right? If you need dry contact or something with your wireless, we've got some options for that for you. But I love that Moab is all inclusive. It's just going to give you everything that you could possibly need, right? So it's got built-in dry contact, 12-volt trigger, IR, relay, and RS-485. You'll set your drop with this. These are actual little buttons from the days that you might be used to our keypad, where you used to set the drop from the keypad. You now do it from your Moab. It is an external device up to 110 inches. From 110 to 200, there's a little pocket inside the case. So you'll pull it out, set your drop, do whatever you need, stick it back in. If you need a true IP control option where you can't get dry contact or 485 from your third-party control system, we do have our little PoE gateway called Troy. It's 1RU tall, takes up about half of the rack, and it gives you that true IP gateway between our screen and your third-party control. So lots of options. Don't want to get too deep in any of this, but just wanted you to know that now you have an all-in-one option to just make things simple for you. Any questions at all, Mark, in the meantime on that for our solos?
No, not yet. I'm glad you're going to go over the 0G though, because this is one that we've sold in the past, and they're absolutely beautiful. And also, I mean, they can be used for commercial applications as well, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. All of our products are meant, you know, for every application that fits the need. So 0G is our only other motorized screen option. This is our cable crawling solution. I know it's hard to see in this picture, but there's actually little cables here. But it's meant for installs where you need a lot of drop. I'll tell you, it's the most expensive screen we sell, and it should be. It's phenomenal. It's a little trickier to install, just meaning that it's not your throw it up, hang and bang screen. It is a beautiful solution when you need a lot of drop. I would not specify this screen unless you need a lot of drop, just because, again, it's more expensive. It's a little harder to do. But if you need a lot of drop, it's a great option. Or you don't want to see all that black drop, right? You have the option to have up to 7.5 feet of cable drop. You must drop this screen 12 inches for the cable and pulley system to work properly. But anything above 12 inches of drop, it's a really great option. If you've ever seen these from any other manufacturer, the first thing you might notice is how small this case is. These screens go up to about 160 inches in diagonal, so not quite as big as the Solo, but still pretty big. There is an external and a flush mount option, but just to kind of give you an example and why this is so small is because these screens have a really different deployment than what you might be used to, right? Everybody else's cable crawling screen is a massive case. It opens up, it drops down another case, and the screen deploys from there. With Screen Innovations, the only thing that's dropping out of this case is a motorized roller, and the screen material is rolled up on that. So it's a smaller, slimmer design, which means it weighs a quarter of what the other guy's screen weighs. And it means that it's a lot easier to wrangle, right? So for an example, our largest 160-inch screen weighs a little over 225 pounds. Our competitor's screen at the same size is almost 1,000 pounds. So really, really beautiful. We use a Dyneema style parachute cording as well. So there's no ugly kind of dark gray twisted, metal cable. It's a thin parachute style cording available in multiple colors. So if you have a white wall or a back wall or a black wall or a tan wall, you can really camouflage that string so that it really will look like that levitating screen that you're. Sorry, I'm having some technical difficulties here. There we go. So again, flush and external. These, because they weigh so much less, they have a much quieter motor. So another thing, if you've heard one of these deploy somewhere else, it can sound like a freight train. So while they're not silent, they're much more silent than anything else out there. We have customers who deploy them during church services, things like that. So again, really an application because of the cost and the fact that you're going to be on site probably a whole day to install it. Up to 160 inches, but you really want it for something where you really need a lot of drop. There's several material choices here, including that 360 rear material. This one is only 110 volt line voltage. That's your only option just because the nature of the beast, so to speak. But just a beautiful, beautiful install and a great option for you guys.
And Lisa, sorry to steal your thunder if you're going to get to this when we start going over the screen builder, but you guys have so many different options. I don't even know if there's a screen that you guys don't make. It's from the 0G to Black Diamond, motorized, fixed. What is normally the build times for your various screens? Because I know like a 0G is probably going to take some time. Is it, I know some of the screens that you have ready to go, so, they could ship in a few days, whereas others might take some time to build, just so our customers know, hey, we need this far out for planning purposes.
Sure. That's a great question. We will show you when we get to the builder. We update every Monday our build times live, so you'll always know if we're running into anything. You'll know every Monday it's updated. Typically, motorized screens are running about 4 to 6 weeks. 0G, I'd add another week or two to that. So maybe, 6 to 8 weeks for 0G. That will come down. But right now, that's kind of the standard. We do have some standard screens in stock. So we'll talk about the quick build option and show you guys that as well. Fixed frame screens are running about 1 to 2 weeks. So it just kind of depends. Some of the 1 series screens, like Mark said, are on the shelf and can go out in a few days. But for the most part, fixed 1 to 2 weeks, motorized 5 to 6 weeks.
Perfect. Thank you.
Sure. So we'll pop onto our fixed frame screens here. So Zero Edge, we have a Zero Edge and a Zero Edge Pro. We wanted to give you guys some options when you're just looking for a white or gray screen. So Zero Edge is white and gray only, fixed frame screen, little 1/2-inch border, and available in some different sizes that you might need, up to 205 inches, right? So there's no custom sizing on the Zero Edge. This is meant to be, again, a budget-friendly white and gray screen option only. If you need a little bit more flexibility, we have the Zero Edge Pro. Zero Edge Pro is available with this same beautiful 1/2-inch frame, but it's available in multiple sizes, right? So you can buy it pretty much in every 1-inch increment and every material that we've talked about so far. So if you just need a white or gray screen, Zero Edge is a great cost-friendly solution. Zero Edge Pro for pretty much everything else. We also do have the backlight option, LED backlight option. We do have the option for it to be controlled through Philips Hue IP bridge, or just the standard IR control with a little remote. So just a way to give you a little bit of pop. People think that this is just for aesthetics, and while it is cool to change the colors for whatever you need, there is some science behind it. Having that backlight on keeps your pupils from dilating big and small when you have something really bright on the screen and then it goes really dark. It gives you the ability to kind of keep your pupils at that same dilation. So it's beautiful, but it's also a way to kind of do less eye strain.
Lisa, I got a question here. Is there for the light kits, are they available in most of the screens? Are there some that, you know, you can't get? I mean, I don't know if you get them for motorized, but can you get, is it all fixed screens that you can have?
It's just the zero edge screen.
Zero edge screens.
Zero edge only. It's got a little channel in the frame where that light kit kind of pops into. So it's just for the zero edge and the Zero Edge Pro.
10-4.
So Zero Edge Pro, again, everything from Black Diamond all the way up to the AT materials. So, you know, lots and lots of material choices. And again, customized by the inch up to 220 inches in diagonal with that beautiful little 1/2 inch bezel. And we have some different aspect ratios as well. If you want a little bit more cost-effective solution, you can't get the LED kit with this, but we do have our 1, 3, 5, and 7 series fixed frame. That's going to be your nice little 3.5 inch velvet frame. Stand by. These are soon to shrink down to about a 2 inch frame, but as it stands today, 3.5 inch velvet wrapped frame. The difference in the number 1, 3, 5, and 7 is just what material choices you have available, right? So the 1 series is going to be just the standard entry level, cost effective Gamma White. Max size is 133 and there's 7 fixed sort of sizes in that. So these are one of the ones, Mark, that you mentioned that are going to be on the shelf, ready to be purchased at any time, ship within a couple of days, right? 3 series is kind of like the Zero Edge. You have white or gray, and you've got 10 different size options in that up to 205 inches. The 5 series is going to give you pretty much everything you need except for Black Diamond. So lots of different material choices, the ATs, the ALRs, the Rear Pro, and again, customizable by the inch from 80 inches all the way up to 220, every aspect in between. And then the 7 series is going to be your Black Diamond. So if you need the Black Diamond with the bigger frame, a little more cost-effective solution than Zero Edge, that's available again by the inch. Does max out at 150 inches in diagonal. That's our biggest option for Black Diamond. But I really love Black Diamond in either the especially the Zero Edge Pro or the 7 series. This is something for you guys to know that, you know, when someone's saying, well, I'll just buy a flat panel, right? Great. 86 inches and under, we can't really compete too cost effectively when you throw in the cost of a projector. But when you start talking about a 98-inch flat panel or some kind of custom LED wall, right? Black Diamond can be a super cost-effective solution. First of all, 98 inches is about as big as you're going to get with a flat panel, and they're pricey, right? So you can get 110, 120-inch or more diagonal screen using Black Diamond, and even with the cost of the projector, have that same LED quality for a lot less or the same price as your 98 inch. So a much bigger footprint. So I love Black Diamond as an option for that LED killer. If you guys don't have any questions, I can pop on the website and show you guys some of our tools. Mark, you ready for me to do that?
Yeah, let's go.
Okay, perfect. So screeninnovations.com here. If you guys are already set up as a dealer, you can click on that dealer login and get into the system. But even if you're not, right, you can go to the screen builder. You can go to the screen material wizard. There's some sizing and calculator. What size projector? How many lumens do I need? What size screen do I need based on how big my room is, right? Lots of great tools. I love this particular tool, the Screen Material Wizard. So I wanted to show this to you guys today because we went over a lot of materials. How do I know which material is going to be right for my room? How do I know, as Mark said, how many lumens I need, right? It's all based on the measurement of the ambient light in your space. There's a nice little video here. It's maybe 2 minutes long to show you how to gather that information for your light measurement. But if you don't have an old school light meter, this particular iPhone and Android app that are here are a really great option. You're going to turn on the light meter. You're going to give it a wave at the screen where the screen would be, projector off, lights where you have them, and get a true reading of what that ambient light is at the space, at the screen location. And how it works is down here, this is a list of all the materials we talked about: black diamond, slate, white, gray, the rear projection, whatever you need. How it works is you're going to plug in your information, right? Maybe I want a 16:10-inch screen and it's 120 inches. Typically, a high ambient light room would be anywhere from 10 to 20 foot candles of light. So we'll just pick 15. And then let's just decide where we think we want our projector lumens. Maybe I've got a big one, right? I'm looking at 5,000 lumens, right? So if I scroll down here, once I've plugged in my numbers, anything that gets highlighted in green means that it has at least a 30-to-1 contrast ratio. Remember, we want to be an LED replacement, right? We want you guys to look up at that projection screen and have it be LCD quality. So in order for you to meet LCD quality, you need to be somewhere near 30-to-1 contrast ratio, right? So if I look at black diamond here, right, with my parameters that I plugged in, 156 foot Lamberts, which is an equivalent of 534 nits, right? People are better than the 30-to-1 TV quality you're hoping for. It's only letting in 15% of the light. So you got 85% light rejection, and it's telling us what our minimum throw distance needs to be. So any ambient light rejecting material, whether it's Screen Innovations or someone else, does require a minimum throw distance to ensure that you don't get hot spotting. Because these materials are meant to reject light, if you get too close with the projector, it will inadvertently reject your projector light as well. So the math is always minimum projector throw distance is 1.5 times your image width, right? So if you have a 10-foot wide screen, you got to be 15 feet back. You can be further back, you just can't be closer. So we make sure that that's easy for you here on this little tool and tell you what your minimum throw distance needs to be. It'll also give you your half gain, 0 to the right, and then again 0 to the left. So if you add that together, just under 75 degrees viewing cone, optimal viewing cone. Doesn't mean when you get outside the cone you can't see it, but it's going to fall off a little bit. But I love this tool because maybe they were thinking about a white screen for their room, right? If I scroll down here to my pure white, pretty bright, almost 500 nits, but not much contrast, 11-to-1, right? I don't have to be as far away from the screen. I've got a little bit wider viewing cone, but I have very little contrast, 69-to-1 versus 11-to-1. Now, I can play around with this too. Maybe I'm looking at, 4,000 lumens. So as you plug in these numbers, right, this allows you to decide how many lumens do I need? Well, even at 3,000 lumens, right? Let's see what 2,000 lumens gets us, right? 2,000 lumens with black diamond, almost LCD quality. So this lets me know if this number is correct and I have this much light, right? Maybe I only have 10-foot candles of light. Right. So as you change and play around with this, it's going to tell you, just to let you decide how many lumens you need. I also love this tool because you can print out a little PDF version here and take it to your customer. Hey, Mr. Customer, you were thinking about a white screen, right? But we already know with the white screen, even 5,000 lumens isn't going to get you where you need to if you've really got that much light. So it's just a great way for you to decide, okay, the black diamond screen is going to cost more, but I don't have to use 5,000 lumens either, right? I can go back down to my 3,000 or whatever it might be. So I always look, I feel like there's an old saying in our business, right? You marry your screen and you date your projector. And that's because that screen is what you're going to look at for many, many years. You're likely to have projectors come and go before you change out the screen. So really think about the fact that the screen is something that you're going to want to think about first and kind of work backwards there for your lumens.
So Lisa, this would really be a good place to start before you start going into the screen builder and figuring out which screen
Absolutely.
that you need, right? I mean, you
When
probably want to start
customers
here,
call me,
figure out what
yep,
material you need, right?
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. It won't, the one thing this tool won't tell you is the max sizes on some of the materials. You know, if I was looking at, or that it's motorized, right? I know Black Diamond is a fixed frame screen. So if it was motorized, I want to be looking at slate. But every time a customer calls me, this is the first thing I do. I pop on here and start figuring out, okay, how much light do you have? What do you think your lumen budget is? And we just work backwards from there. So it is a amazing starting point. Okay, so I will jump on to the screen builder as well.
And before you do that, guys, just so everybody knows, you'll see that, you know, you need to log in to access some of your dealer pricing. If you go to the Next Level website, log in, you go to Tools and Resources, and then scroll down to Screen Innovation Screen Builder. You will be able to, it'll give you your Next Level username and password that's universal, that you can go in and get that dealer cost, MSRP, be able to, you know, like Lisa was saying, you could print out a PDF of the entire quote of what you need. So just make sure you know that you could go to the Next Level website, go to Tools and Resources, log in, and it'll give you that all the credentials you need to access everything on the SI Screen Builder. Just wanted to mention that, Lisa.
No, perfect, because I was just doing the builder where I wasn't logged in. And as Mark said, it'll let you build your screen out. It'll print out a drawing for you. But for pricing, you're going to need to be logged in. So mine will just have MSR pricing, of course, but just wanted to kind of show you what it looks like when you log in, right? So when you click build a screen, it's going to say build a screen here, or there's quick build. So if we click on quick build, it will show you what 4-day builds are available, right? So right now, it looks like we've got some 7, 6-day builds. I'm not seeing this week, I'm not seeing any motorized screens for quick build. So it's updated again every Monday as what's available for that super, super quick build. Of course, fixed frame screens are pretty fast right now as well. But if we just go to build a screen, right, it won't ask you this, of course, because it's not your portal. This is showing me some of our legacy options. So just like you saw before, all you guys will see is 0G and Solo 3. It will not show you any of the legacy stuff. And you notice right here's our lead time. So I was right on the money, 4 to 6 weeks for motorized. And if we scroll down here, 5 to 7 business days for fixed frame screens. X series is if you need some of that rear projection stuff. It's not going to give you pricing, but it'll let you build something out if you need it. And then you'll reach out to the folks at Next Level and they can get pricing for you. So what should we build out, Mark? Is there a certain screen you want me to do? Motorized, fixed? What do you like?
Let's get crazy here. Let's do a motorized. I was gonna say 0G, but let's do
Okay.
let's do a, yeah, or solo. Let's take, because I mean because now you're talking about like the drop, and I mean whatever seems like would be the most difficult to quote out. Maybe we can start there.
I think the Solo 3 has more questions, right? Because it has different motor options and things. So let's start with that. So we'll click on Solo 3 and it just walks you through, right? Do you want external or flush? Well, maybe we want, you know, external. Okay, great. Black or white? Well, maybe we want black. We'll say 16:9 aspect ratio, and maybe we'll do 120-inch screen, right? Based on what you're selecting above, it helps you determine what your options are, right? Maybe we want 24 inches of black drop. You'll select whether you want a wall mount, a ceiling mount, or both, right? So if we say we know we want to wall mount this, if you select both, I think it gives you like a $30 upcharge because maybe you just don't know yet, right? You don't know for sure which way you want to go, right? And depending on the screen size, it could be that all-in-one bracket or separate brackets. So we'll just say it's a wall mount. And remember, everything's going to come with standard orientation unless you want that reverse roll where you need some clearance and it's going to come out from the wall a little bit further. It will always give you all of your parameters, your width, your case length, all of your stuff auto-populates based on what size you've selected. If you know the case length that you need, you can type that in there, or it can't exceed a certain one, and it will retrofit to the screen size that you need that's closest to whatever our option is. You'll always get a nice little drawing here. And notice if I change this to, let's just go up to flush mount. Now it's going to change and give me my drawings for my different drop ceiling or drywall mount. So I just love this tool. And this is the drawing based on the size that we've selected, right? It will give you shipping dims and weights. So if you need freight quotes or anything like that, reach out to your Next Level guys. They can get you that as well. And then based on the motorized screen that I've selected and the size that I have, these are your only options, right? So notice our ultra short throw ALR isn't in here because max size for that was 100 inches. So maybe we want a slate material, right? It's telling me, hey, lithium battery is not available in the diagonal that you quoted because you're over 110. So it's only giving me my 110, 220, or 24 volt option, right? So maybe I want 24 volt, or maybe I want 110, right? Moab is always included. Remember, that's the nice little control board that gives you all the low voltage control you want. And then you can decide whether you want a keypad or not, right? You don't need the keypad because it's going to come again with your IR remote, your Moab, and your brackets. And then maybe you wanted that IP control or some other, you know, a keypad or something like that. That's where you could select additional accessories. But this is pretty much it. Creating option, it'll always default to no. That's generally only used for shipping overseas or something like that. But I just love that. Gives you your MSRP, creates a model number for you. You can click add to quote. Maybe you want to see this in white and slate and do multiple options. Or you can just click download. This will give you a super quick, as Mark said, drawing, all the information, everything you need. So it's just going to take a second to load here.
While that's loading too,
go ahead, Mark.
Couple of quick questions. And real quick, I have a question from Carlos I'm going to answer real quick. Where do we inquire about becoming a dealer? If you're a dealer of Next Level, you're a business in the space, you're already good to go. So just get with your sales rep and we'll get you, you know, there's no additional paperwork you need to fill out as long as you're a dealer of Next Level. Secondly, a screen that's, I guess, super custom, like if you want a 126-inch screen, that's priced out above, right? Because if you guys are cutting it down, they're paying for the 133, right? And they're getting the one. Do I have that right?
You do have that right. I think I can't remember all the breaks. I know 133 is one of the breaks. I know 160 is one of the breaks. There might be one in between. If you're in
between one of the breaks, you go up to the next screen, and that's what the cost is, right?
Correct. Okay. So if you're thinking, you know, I really want a 140-inch, but I better do the one, you know, 30, price it out. Call your Next Level guys. You'd be surprised. Sometimes screens that are, you know, varying in sizes can be the same price. I think that's what you're alluding to, Mark. So,
and then the last thing is you're probably going to get into is the authorization signature, which I think is pretty important. That we need to make sure you guys got to sign off on it, and that's
exactly,
you know, an agreement that you guys, you know, everything was measured correctly, right?
Right. It's basically saying these options down here. Yep, I want 24 inches of drop. Yep, I want a white case. I want it in, you know, 16.9 and 120 inches or whatever you've selected. So on motorized screens, we do require your sign off. Fixed frame screens, we don't. But you'll get the same drawing that you would get with anything. If we go back to the builder, right, you click add to quote. You can give your project a name, and then you can add more onto the quote. So it's just a great way to see multiple pricing options. And once you're done with that, you can download your quote. And as Mark said, depending on how you're logged in, you'll see your dealer cost or MSRP. It's always just going to show
and the place. And if the order goes through, they quote it out to their customer. The next step would be is we need that form, right? And you guys to give to you to,
yeah.
So it's authorized, right?
Yep,
so
absolutely. With every order of a motorized screen, we do require the drawing. It can just be, you know, an email of, hey, this is my drawing. This is what I want. You don't necessarily have to sign it and scan it, but we need some kind of written authorization that, yes, this screen in these parameters with all the stuff I've selected is what I want.
Right. Okay.
Because the guys in the back go by this, right?
Exactly. Yeah. We just got to make sure everybody has it right. We're all on the same page. So
Exactly.
yeah.
Exactly. So that's pretty much it, Mark. I almost went your whole hour. I really wanted to show you guys the builder tool. I wanted to show you some of those tools on the website, so that you just, you had options. So
yeah, no, it's
anything
phenomenal.
I didn't cover
and again, I
that,
think
that you wanted me to cover?
No, I think the big thing was the portal. You guys now see how easy it is. It's super easy to access on our website. You just go to, you could go to the website, the Screen Innovations website, but come to our website. It'll direct you right towards it. So you can log in, get your credentials, and start getting the screen materials you need, and then legitimately just build out a screen how you see fit, and then go from there. So I think you've covered pretty much everything, and I appreciate it, Lisa, for everything that you've done. And guys, this is going to be on our website, recap of this training, so you'll be able to see it then. If you have a project in the works, please let us know. We get you $50 off through the month of July on your next screen order. Again, if you have any questions, reach out to your sales rep. Lisa's been great. They've been phenomenal answering whatever question we have. Joel, who's on here, who's a customer experience representative, has been a big help as well. So they have the team in place to help you get the screen you need. So Lisa, can't thank you enough for your time today.
Absolutely. And thank you, Joel. I know I did all the talking. You didn't get a chance to say much, but Joel is an amazing resource to our team. He joined us last December, and he's just been phenomenal.
All right, guys, thank you so much for your time today. Anything else, please feel free to reach out to your sales rep. And thank you so much.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Lisa.
Appreciate you. Bye, team.